Good morning, everyone. This is an awesome chore for me. I didn't say grow up in Cypress Creek District, amen, but Cypress Creek District has got most of my latter years. As you know, most of us, the churches that we were in, we were there because that's where our parents were. And automatically that's where we were going to be until we got old enough to make our own decision. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Amen. So, I went to school. Sister Albessa Thompson gave me some history on Cypress Creek District. Amen. That really took me to school about a lot of things. Amen. I have, when I came to this district, now my wife, she grew up in Cypress Creek District. I've stayed in the houses. Y'all remember when you'd have district meetings and people would keep those, what you call them? Delegates. Amen. They would keep them in their houses. So she grew up in Cypress Creek District, but I didn't. So this took me to school. So I'm going to read some of it. Matter of fact, I could read a whole lot of it because I'm sure it's a lot that other people don't know, but I'm going to call some names that I'm sure a lot of you all will know. Cypress Creek District got a real rich history. And Cypress Creek District down through the years, I do know, has been well represented in the state and in the national convention. Cypress Creek District is well known. So that's something to be proud of. Let me read a little bit of this. It says, to preserve the memory, those who laid the foundation and carried on these years, on these many years, most of whom have folded their tents, crossed over Jordan where they await us. We present one photo and a few brief historical facets, lest we forget. That's right. Cypress Creek District Baptist Association was organized September the 4th. In its first session, September the 3rd through the 6th, 1891. All right. That's a long time, isn't it? Held with the Cypress Creek District Baptist Church south of Center Ridge, Arkansas. Messengers and pastors from 11 regular missionary Baptist churches met on the above named date and place. And I know a lot of you all probably would know this picture here, Reverend Iris McCrae. Right there. Amen. Yeah. I've heard these names, a lot of these names, through the years that I've been in Cypress Creek District. And it said Reverend McCrae was the 9th moderator of Cypress Creek District Baptist Association, serving for 15 years. He was the organizer of the Cypress Creek District Women's Association in 1921. His judgment was clear and discerning. He was dignified and mild in his disposition. He was a wise counselor who honored God and preached his word for 23 years. He was the founder, president of the Cypress Creek District Institute. For 34 years, he was an author and a poet, a Bible teacher, and a missionary for 23 years. Reverend McCrae left a rich legacy of helping to prepare better leadership for the Christian family. He was the kind of leader who knew where he was going and knew what to do when he arrived. Now that says something, that's powerful. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Proverbs 29:18. And Cypress Creek District is where it is now is because of people all those many years back had a vision for where the district would go, and they carried out their part. So now, it was said earlier, those that follow them are standing on their shoulders. We have to carry out our part. Amen. Let me read some of these local churches. Mount Pisgah, near Saugahatchee, was organized in 1888. Isn't that something? I'm not going to read all of the deacons and everyone. Some of you all that know anything about them probably know. Mount Pilgrim, Pilgrim was organized in 1888. Friendship was organized in February 28, 1891. That's Friendship. Mount Grove was organized in 1908. Sweet Home was organized about 1897. And Mountain View, it don't have the date that it was organized, but it said the first deacon were J.B. Ballanton and Earl McNeely. The first pastor was Reverend J.H. Hunter. Amen. Pilgrim Rest, there was no early history available. Holly Springs near Springfield was organized in 1888. New Prospect was organized in 1885. Zion Grove was organized in 1907. Solomon Grove was organized in 1884.
Wow.
That's the oldest one in the district. Solomon Grove. And Norris Chapel. Norris Chapel came from the middle western district, the middle Arkansas district, into Cypress Creek. And I really wondered how they really got insight. When I read this, I found out Hopewell. Anybody know Hopewell? Oh, yeah. Amen. Was a part of Cypress Creek District. And Bethlehem. There's no early history available for Bethlehem. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 churches. But now it's 10. This district consists of 10 churches. And I did have the privilege of serving as the moderator for Cypress Creek District for 5 years. And there are several moderators that Reverend A.W. Bowie was moderator when I came to Cypress Creek District. He had served for several years, and then I followed him, and then there's been several since then. Reverend Luke Hawkins, Reverend Tony Byers, and the present moderator is the mayor of Twin Grove, Reverend Wesley Tyus. Amen. He is the present.
That's very good history.
Right, he's the present moderator. And also, I do want to, the Women's Association, amen, was Miss Mariah Vaughn. Anybody know her? She was the first president of Cypress Creek District Women's Association, organized in 1921. Isn't that awesome? And then Sister Gertrude Ozili Kennedy Hawkins. She was she will also organize the Young Men's Department in the Cypress Creek District. And I know everybody know Sister Janie Luther Morris Walker.
Yeah, my aunt.
Right. Amen. She was the youth leader. And then we have Miss Elvin Richardson Archie. We know who she was over the choir, amen, because that's what she dealt with, was music. And then, last but not least, amen, Sister Benny Lee Maxfield, amen, she served faithfully this district in many capacities over the years, even in the national. She served as the national president, the state president for 8 years, amen. And we know that she went home to be with the Lord, about a year ago, amen. So that's, Cypress Creek District has a rich history. And I just want to show you some of these pictures here of the Cypress Creek District Singing Union, amen. And I know we've talked about the singing and everything, and it was just rich. But Brother Gus Thompson Jr., Professor Lonnie Fields, I remember him when he was here when I came in the district. Joyce Martin, Bishop Hawkins from Center Ridge, and Deacon Felton Galt from Zion Grove, from Floyd Morris from Friendship, Quincy Martin of Mountain View, B.H. Dooley of Holly Springs and Solomon Grove, and Monroe Halcomb of Pilgrim Rest. Got pictures of those. Isn't that awesome? Amen. That's wonderful. Amen. And that's just a portion of the history of Cypress Creek District. And Cypress Creek District, I want to say this before I close, have experienced something over the past 2 years, amen, that I believe many have not seen. Cypress Creek District met for the first time over the past 2 years, the 28th of May this year was the first time Cypress Creek District had met in over 2 years. You know, that's something that many of us took for granted. You know, that those district meetings and gathering at the church and all of those things would be always present. It would be something that we could always do. Amen. But we found out over the past 2 years that that's not so. Right. Amen. A lot of times the only way we met was through conference calls. And some of the people in the district I saw for the first time when we met on May the 28th. So what does that say? Let us not take our coming together for granted.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for that history.